Oh, come on, you know it. The Middle East never sleeps. It's absolutely crazy though, because in this news, according to the United States Treasury Secretary, Iran has attempted to practice piracy on ships, while the Qatari Foreign Ministry strongly condemned Iran's action by targeting an Emirati tanker while passing to the strait, while a South Korean vessel has been reportedly hit by the IGC, while the United States Navy announced that two United States flag vessels have successfully transited through the strait and are safely headed on their journey. Also, the US forces have been authorized to strike immediately if Iran sends speedboats or missiles. While all of this is happening, Israel's defense ministry announced that its first Boeing KC-46 tanker, dubbed Gideon, is expected to be delivered to Israel within about a month. This aircraft is the first one of a total number of 6, which should be headed to Israel. While we also got informed that 2 soldiers from the IDF got injured during clashes with a terrorist in southern Lebanon. Of course, I wish the soldiers all the best and a speedy recovery. We were also informed that violent clashes are happening between the terrorists in Lebanon and the Israeli forces, while the Israeli airstrikes continue. We also got informed that Iran yet again attacked the UAE because it was reported that a fire broke out at an industrial zone in the UAE following an Iranian drone attack, while the Iranian army chief stated that security of the strait is a red line for Iran. Also, the IGC spokesperson stated that vessels violating the rules will be stopped by force. Also, explosions have been heard inside American bases in the UAE, because all of that, flights in the United Arab Emirates have been suspended, while Israel have raised its alert level in light of the current escalation, while 6 Iranian small boats were eliminated this morning, according to CENTCOM Commander Brett Cooper. It also seems that the IGC and overall Iran is preparing for a second round of confrontations, because it was stated that extensive movements by the IGC were reported in dozens of occasions. Also, the Iranian media have reported that 2 missiles have struck a United States Navy frigate. However, it was later denied by the United States Central Command by saying no United States Navy ships have been struck and the blockade in Iranian parts continue. Also, a United States official supposedly said that the United States forces will destroy any Iranian boats and missiles attempting to attack shipping in the strait. Also, according to the Pakistani Foreign Ministry, the step to return the Tusker ship to Iran came from the United States in order to build trust. As you know, this Tusker ship was confiscated from the United States and the ship was linked to Iran. However, it seems that it was going back to Iran to gain trust. Also, we got a new operation, which is currently called Operation Free Sale. And if you click on this statement there, President Trump, he basically stated that many countries are involved. He basically stated that many countries are involved in the Middle Eastern dispute. However, many of them just want to make business and they are stuck there with their ships and vessels. However, Donald Trump further stated because of that, he will help the vessels go out of there, especially since the ships were already relying low on food. However, the president stated these ships are only linked with no Iranian connections, and we got informed that this operation have entered the implementation phase this morning, while the Iranian parliament vice president stated that America must accept all 10 conditions and this is the least costly for them. As you can imagine, it wouldn't be least costly for the United States, it would be massively least costly for Iran, since Iran is currently losing between 300 and 500 million a day, while it is estimated that the United States loses about 50 million a day. So 10x difference, plus the United States have the biggest by far budget for the military. Also, it was stated that the new Iranian proposal is not acceptable to the President Trump because he reportedly stated that it's not acceptable to me. I've studied it, I've studied everything, it's not acceptable. Also, Trump stated that new strikes on Iran are possible if Iran misbehaves. Also, the United States warship have attacked an Iranian cargo vessel who tried to break through to the blockade because after 6 hours of ignored warnings, the warship of the United States fired on the Iranian flagged vessel. We also could announce that over 15,000 service members and over 100 land and sea-based aircraft, while many other ships are currently operating, in the new project of the president, so Project Freedom, while the Israeli government officials stated to Channel 14 that a return to hostilities in Iran, it is no longer a question of if, but when. Also, it seems that, according to the Iranian Foreign Ministry, Iran have received the American response and are currently reviewing it to prepare their own reaction. Also, in the last 2 days alone, forces of the 7th Brigade of the IDF eliminated about 10 terrorists, probably in southern Lebanon, who posed a threat to the IDF forces. Additionally, a loaded and ready-to-fire launch position was also destroyed, with additional infrastructure, which was used for storing combat means, and other military buildings were also destroyed. The head of the terrorist organization Lebanon also stated in a written statement that there is no ceasefire in Lebanon, but rather he ordered all terrorists to do guerrilla, so hit-and-run tactics to inflict maximum casualties on enemy forces. Also, this terrorist on the right side, and we see this guy who entered a military zone, put a chair on the ground and sat down on it, like one of the leaders of Hamas did, Yahya Sinwar, and posed with the same posing. However, a few days later, he got arrested with the same pose, but in a different setting. It was also recorded on April the 13th how approximately 10 rockets by the terrorists were fired toward Israel from a densely populated area in the heart of the city of Pyra. Iran also reportedly stated that they will do a cap on enrichment by 3.5%, far below weapons grade, and they offered gradual reduction of existing stockpile, so it seems that Iran is giving in step by step. Let's see how much longer it will take until they give up. Also, this morning, IDF forces have shut down a money-changing business that was funneling funds to the Hamas terrorist organization in order to advance terror attacks against Israel and its citizens. In total, 5 suspects were arrested and hundreds of thousands of shekels seized. We were also informed that 8 underground tunnels were destroyed and dozens of terrorists eliminated. In other words, the 205th Brigade completed their mission in the northern Gaza Strip. We also got informed that United States warships have broken the IGC siege and are entering the strait. Also, if you click on these images, the 205th Brigade also located a bunch of weapons and equipment, while 8 underground tunnel ruins got dismantled and dozens of terrorists eliminated. Also, we got informed that Israel have acquired 2 new squadrons of advanced aircrafts, better said F-35s and F-15s, while he stated that our pilots can reach anywhere in Iranian skies and are ready.